I guess I'm live. Let me fix this phone here. Okay. Sorry, I am still so bad at it. All this tech, all this technology. Tech is not my friend. It should be. Anyway. Well, looks like so far there is 0 people here. So I guess I'm gonna wait a little bit and wait a little bit. Okay, I guess we got 2 people in the room. Okay, cool. Well, hi everybody. Thanks for joining. I put 37 minutes ago, about 40 minutes ago, on the community page. I put a notice that I'm gonna go live, and sorry I didn't make it sooner. That announcement. I I found out I was going to make, you know how you see it on YouTube often. There is an announcement, such and such channel will be live at such a time. But you have to have computer in order to do that. I don't have a computer with me, and nor do I know how to do it on the computer, even if I had it. So I decided to do it with a community page, which, oh, hi, Carrie. Thanks for joining. Good to see you in here. And so I put it on the community page. My friend 12 Bravo, good to see you. Thanks for joining. And so I put that community page announcement, and not wasn't enough announcement. I happened to. I'm right now in Missouri. I'm near Springfield, Missouri, and I met some people I haven't seen in a long time, in about 18 years. And so I wasn't sure how long I'll be with them. I wasn't sure. Hey, Sharif, SK Asi is my good friend. Good to see you in here. So I wasn't sure how long I'll be with them, if I would do a live today or not. And so anyway, yeah, my meeting with them was over, and it was good to see them. And I thought, while it's still daylight, because I'm in my truck, I cannot do a live when it's dark, because you will not even see my face. At least you see my face, makes it, I imagine, a little bit more interesting than just dark cab. Even if I turn these lights, still it's too dark when it gets dark. So anyway, on to the topics. Oh, much better, Carrie, with this light. Really? To me, it seems like it's the same thing. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about the events that are going around the world. Good to see you, Carrie. Good to see you. And what's going on? The Bible says that we're gonna go through all kinds of crazy events, through wars and earthquakes and all kinds of weather events, as it gets closer to the end. And this is exactly what's happening. Just 4 days ago, I believe it was 4 days ago, those major flooding in New Zealand, in Auckland, the typhoon storm, breaking everything, destroying, which is just insane. Then we have our own disaster in the state of Ohio with that train wreck, the one that was derailed and all the chemicals spilled. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures. I'm sure most of you have. There's plenty of pictures on the internet the burning from the cloud. I mean, modern trucking. Hi, Andre. How are you? Good to see you in here. Thanks for joining, Justin. That the smoke from the burn was rising up to the sky. I don't know how high, but high enough, and it formed a mushroom cloud that looked like an explosion of atomic bomb or a nuclear device. I don't know if it was just chemicals or maybe there was something stronger than that. Although those chemicals, some people say they're gonna disappear totally from the environment in about 20 years. If that's the truth, if that's the fact, those people probably would be better off leaving Ohio, all the surrounding area. And I realize it's easier said than done. It's easy to say, Jay, just pick up and go. But if you have a family or if you have money, you can go to your family or you can stay in a motel somewhere for a month. What if you don't have family at the far enough distance or money? That makes it tough. And your job, you are afraid you're going to quit your job and maybe not find another one. However, yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Carrie. Yeah, some people cannot leave because they just can't afford it. And what are you gonna do? If you stay, unfortunately for many people, Carmen Jean, good to see you from Aberdeen, Washington. I was in Aberdeen about a month ago dropping a load. It's very nice town. I loved it. Smelled like ocean in there. I always love the smell of the ocean. Anyway, so it's like you're between a rock and a hard place. If you can't leave because you have no money or family or friends, but if you stay, there is high chance you're gonna get some kind of disease, possibly some kind of cancer. So, in my opinion, it's of course easier said than done. However, Anne Marie, good to see you. Thanks for joining. You should still try to find a way to live. By the way, if you all would please, give me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. You need to live, I would say, at least a few hundred miles away, maybe 500 miles or better, because all those chemicals, it's going to be in the air, it's going to be in the water, it's going to be in the animals that eat food, all the cows, and you're going to drink milk, because milk that you buy in the store, it's from local cows. They don't bring it from California or Oregon. It's local. So it's going to be in everything. They say, oh yeah, it's safe. It's not safe. How can it be safe? There will be all kinds of crap in the form of acid rain, in the forms that you don't see, the air that you breathe. Vivian, you're in Missouri. Oh, well, I'm in Missouri too. I didn't know you were in Missouri. Well, I do now. Yeah, I'm near Springfield, Missouri, on a truck stop doing my restart. So it's my day off today. I'm on Flying J on 44. If you go a little bit westbound, just a few miles from Springfield, there's Flying J, and that's where I'm at right now. And so, in my opinion, you must find a way to get out of the area. Because yes, job is important, no doubt. Yes, You probably have house, or if you don't have house, apartment, that's still your household with all your supplies and furniture and things that you've accumulated over the years. But I don't know. I think health and your life is above all, because if you're alive and healthy, you can go to work and you can still obtain all those things. But if you lose your health or if you die, none of that is gonna matter. A few days ago, it's been about a week now, I pulled a muscle on my left arm when I was, climbing around my load trying to put straps, and it was hurting so bad. No amount of medicine would help me. Nothing. I was in such pain. I could not, I'm not joking, I could not steer this steering wheel with left hand. And when you drive 11 hours a day, you always switch hands. You drive with one hand and you do it with left hand to give one of your hands a break. I couldn't. I could not even lift a few inches from my hand was resting on my knees. Just trying to lift a few inches to open a window with a button for power window. I couldn't do it without terrible pain right here between my shoulder and between my elbow. It was so bad, and I thought, I'm having this pain which will probably go away soon, and it did, thank God. I thought of people who are paralyzed or who are missing arms for whatever reason, accidents, whatever happened in life. And I thought, you can become handicapped so quick. And now if you're in that area in Ohio, you can become handicapped in a different way. You can or have a cancer and die, or have endless visits doing all kinds of chemo to take care of the cancer. And so, in my opinion, whether you, even if you cannot leave, you should. You have no relatives anywhere, no friends. You should still drop everything. Do a garage sale. Sell things quickly. Get a few $100s, couple $1,000s, and just go anywhere, wherever you like. But get a few 100 miles away. Anyway, that's my opinion. I know it's not easy to do, but in my opinion, that's what you should do. Another thing I was going to talk about is UFOs. It's an interesting topic that everybody have different opinions on, to say the least. Some people believe in aliens. I used to totally not believe in aliens. And I never read anything about aliens in the Bible, so I thought, no, not a chance. But later I started to think that there could be aliens, and what those aliens are, they are basically fallen angels that can take yeah, Gary, I believe in fallen angels. Yes, absolutely. I started to think those fallen angels may come to Earth and take appearance of a little green man, or whatever form they want. They take shape of that. And so I started to think, yeah, aliens may exist, but not real aliens. It's fallen angels, and they possibly do come to Earth. Maybe they come in those flying saucers looking ships, because there is a lot of, if you look on internet, on YouTube, there is a lot of videos that show weird things that move across the sky. Um, yeah, who knows about those drawings, and who knows? And Kerry thinks they brought us technology. Maybe they did. I don't know, but I do know that those fallen angels can come. I I'll tell you a quick story. I witnessed one time UFO in my life. Modern truck, and Andre said I need a vacation. I'll take vacation anytime I can. I'm not against vacations. I'm all about prepping and being ready, but I love to take vacations, and I do. I take every chance I get. I take usually one big vacation per year, sometimes two, and I take a lot of smaller vacations. Just 2 or 3 days getaway. Go to the coast, Oregon coast, very nice place to rest and relax, or somewhere else. Anyway, yeah, modern Trakin said that he believes are fallen angels too. Yes, me too. I totally agree. And so here is my story about UFO that I witnessed. I one time, that was about 5 years ago, 5 6 years ago, I took um, garbage outside. It was already dark, and where I lived, there was a hill in front of me, and on top of that hill, there was a bunch of apartment buildings, like three-story high apartment buildings. And from my house to there was, I don't know, a few thousand feet, maybe a quarter of a mile. And so maybe a little more, maybe half a mile. Anyway, so I suddenly, just it was already dark, noticed some bright light over those apartments, just standing there. I'm thinking, what the heck is that? I've never seen bright light like this. And I started to watch it. And it was dark, as I said. It was maybe 9 p.m. It was summertime, summer or early fall. And so as I'm watching that light, I'm starting to think, what could it possibly be? Is that a helicopter? Well, I thought, no, it's not a helicopter, because, well, helicopters stand still, but it's standing silently. Helicopter, you hear miles away. And here, this thing was just half a mile away from me, up the hill. I'm thinking, what is it? So I'm keep watching it, and it was pretty big light. It was looked like you've all seen probably light shining from helicopter. So I still thought this was something directly above those apartments. And so as I'm watching, suddenly this thing started to move very slowly. And as it moved a little bit, this is when I realized it was not exactly above those apartments. It was much higher than that. So I keep watching it, and this thing started to move higher, higher, higher. This whole process took probably solid, I don't know, a few minutes, 4 to 5 minutes maybe. And then it started to get even smaller, again, silently, but smaller, but still higher, 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 to the point where I still could see it moving, but it was almost as big as stars, maybe just a little brighter. Thinking, what is it? And then suddenly, and I know this sounds like every other story you've heard about aliens, but suddenly that thing just moved so fast across the sky, and then it started to move fast, and it just disappeared. I couldn't see it anymore. It just became too small. So this is my personal story, the only story I've ever witnessed that I could call UFO. It was absolutely 100% silent, and it acted weird. I've seen plenty of videos on YouTube about weird moving things, and being filmed by pilots. Um, Amy, Holly, good to see you. Thanks for joining. And Jason said something is gonna happen. Yeah, something. I'm sure something is bound to happen. And so now lately, you've seen probably on TikTok lots of UFO activity. And here is my opinion. I could be wrong about it, but I think this is probably true. If you're Christian, you believe in rapture. You know rapture is going to come sooner or later, right? You know, supposedly there is 30 some percent, 35% of Earth's population that are Christians. So basically a third of Earth's population are believers in Christ, right? The Bible says that not everyone's going to be, caught in rapture. One is taken from the field, one stays. Same thing from the bed, and so on and so forth. So not everybody's going to be raptured. However, out of one third of Earth's population, that's like 2.5 billion people, maybe even more. If even half of them are gonna get raptured. Serbian, good to see you. Um, Good to see you in here. Thanks for joining. And so, if 1.5 to 2 billion people suddenly, in a blink of an eye, disappear, number one, it's gonna create really crazy chaos on Earth. Because among those people who are gonna disappear, Jaime, uh, among those people who's gonna disappear, there will be truck drivers, there will be pilots, there will be train machinist drivers, I don't know what they're called, captains of the ships. Just simple, regular drivers on the road, just regular people who are just driving, um, going about their way, work or pleasure. All these people gonna disappear. There will be a ton of accidents suddenly all over the world. Planes without pilots. Of course, there's a second pilot. What if both of them are Christians and both are taken? Not super likely scenario, but possible. Or like truck drivers. I'm alone. 90% of truck drivers, there's team drivers, but most of them are alone. Lots of them are Christian. They will disappear. The truck will be without a driver. It's gonna roll over, create big accident, hit somebody. It's gonna be sudden, huge mess all over the earth. And powers that be, all these globalists who are not Jesus worshippers, they are Satan worshippers. They're gonna have to have some kind of explanation. They're gonna have to keep people as calm as possible. They're gonna have to somehow explain all that. And in my opinion, they are paving the road for that explanation now with all this alien BS. I'm not saying it's total BS, because yes, there are fallen angels that are coming here and taking forms of anything. However, it's been so blown out of proportions, because how else they're gonna explain? They're not gonna explain. They're not gonna say to people, you know what, people, Jesus came and took his people in the rapture. Obviously, they're not gonna say that, but they will have to say something. And so that's my opinion. Let me know. Let me know in this live chat, or maybe later in the comments. Whoever's gonna watch this video later, let me know your take on this. Yeah, Blue Beam, Project Blue Beam. Yeah, it's part of that for sure. Because they're gonna show all those holograms. By the way, speaking of holograms, back when I was a kid, teenager, growing up, going to church, reading Bible, talking about it, I always thought how the whole world is gonna see Antichrist and listen to him. And back 30, 40 years ago, it would be impossible to imagine. Now with internet, as internet became available to everybody, and YouTube and TVs, and you go to a big place like Las Vegas, you see TV screens that are 70 or 100 feet tall, you know. And I thought, oh, this is probably how Antichrist is gonna talk through those big screens that I'm sure New York City has a bunch of them. And now it's even better. It's those holograms. If you're curious, you can look up on internet, on YouTube, and find a couple of years ago they did a show, light show, hologram show in Seattle around Space Needle. It looks amazing, but it looks real. It looks like there is all kinds of forms that are floating around the Space Needle. It looks cool, but it made me think immediately, this is it. This is what they're going to use for Antichrist, They are practicing, and hologram of Antichrist can just appear in the sky everywhere. And Amy said technology has some positive aspects and negative aspects. Yes, of course. I love certain technologies. I love GPS. I wouldn't want to be truck driver, or I used to be cab driver without GPS. It would suck to just try to look at the map all the time, look at the Thomas Guide for smaller streets. That would be terrible. Or when I was cab driver, I was taking credit card payment just on my phone, on the square. Boom, swipe the card, money in your next day in your account. Very convenient, very good, very cool. Technology, right? Yes. Same thing, with all the apps, even though they say if it's free, then you're the product. Yeah, possibly. However, still, you're able to talk with your friends and family for free. Just all you need to do is use WhatsApp or Messenger or whatever other app and talk for free. I talk with my family from Ukraine for free. I can talk to them for hours if I want to. And so technology, yes, definitely is good in certain ways, and in many ways it is evil and will become even worse. AI, that's really crazy technology. I was just watching some video on AI yesterday. It's insane. I digressed. I was talking about, all this Blue Beam project. And so hologram of Antichrist can appear in the sky, and he can just talk to people from there. I don't know how they would project his voice from the sky to everybody. I'm sure they'll find ways. Perhaps they already have a way. And he can speak and say, hey, I'm God. Bow to me, So anyway, who knows if it's going to go that route or not, but I think it's high possibility. And so going even further back to my, what I was talking about, all the aliens. All this is preparation for rapture, because we as Christians, we know it, and those people, powers that be, they know what's in the Bible. They probably read the Bible, and they know rapture is coming, and so they're preparing the world, so they'll have something to say. So yeah. AI, that's another crazy evil. Obviously AI is still, obviously it's made by human, even though they say that AI can develop itself into something bigger. Yeah, I'm sure it's all true. However, it's still a robot. It's still made by human beings. And in my opinion, no AI will ever surpass human brain. It's made by humans. Yeah, they can develop themselves into something bigger. Robots themselves, AI itself. However, in my opinion, your brain here has infinite possibilities. Which way you want to think, which way you're gonna go. And I still think, even though it's crazy quick, but it's like, let me use simple example of a calculator. No matter how smart you are, you no matter how smart you are, you cannot uh, do all these formulas and mathematical problems in your head in 1 second. On a calculator you can. You just put whatever division, multiplications in split second, boom, tells you answer. However, does that mean that calculator is smarter than you? No. It just does what it was programmed to do, and that's it. So, in my opinion, same thing with AI. Yes, they're smarter than calculator, obviously, and they will be able to predict your behavior. But again, all that prediction is still doesn't mean they read your mind, unless if you put chip in your head, then perhaps they will be able to somehow read your mind in a way. But if you don't put any chip in your head or in yourself, it's not going to be able to read your mind. It's going to be able to predict your behavior based on many things, on things you buy, because AI knows what you buy, with what credit card, based on your searches that you do on internet, on YouTube, and in Google, based on your comments. Here's my opinion. YouTube likes when you create conversation, right? In my opinion, why would they care? Why would they worry about and like in the fact that you're creating conversation? You say something and people start talking about it, and people start talking under your video among themselves sometimes, and YouTube likes that, and it rewards you by letting your channel grow, and then you can make money with ads, right? Why would they reward you for all that? In my opinion, the answer is simple: because they want to know your thoughts. They want to know what you think. Each one of us has a profile, and they know what we think. And this is why they promote that thing. Same thing with Facebook. People like everybody's videos and pictures and make comments. By those comments, they know your behavior. By posting things you do on Instagram or on Facebook, they know where you shop, where you eat, all of that. I was today watching a video made by some former CIA agent, how to disappear without a trace. And he was giving good advices, and of course he had to say that if you're not hiding because you've done something illegal, if you're just running away from crazy boyfriend or husband or some kind of scenario like that, here's how you can disappear. Of course, one of the main things he said: use cash only. Yes, cash only. My question is, how much longer the cash is going to last? Obviously, all this Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, all that is grand practice to make money electronic. And by making money electronic, they're gonna kill two birds with one stone, maybe more than two. Number one, everybody's gonna be paying taxes. Right now, all these drug dealers, they pay no taxes, obviously, and they make millions of dollars, some of them. Or even lots of little people, they don't pay all the taxes. You work in restaurant industry, you receive cash tip. Are you gonna claim taxes on that? You can do whatever you want, but you probably guessed what I would do. People gave the tip to me, not to IRS. So you know what I would do. I think you know what I would do. Or lots of people do side work for cash under the table, and they want to eliminate that. They want everybody paying taxes. Second of all, they will know even more about you. Third of all, once they have that social score in place, which I'm sure is coming to the United States, like the one they have in China. They have credit score like us, and they have social score. And social score, I imagine most of you know what it is, but in case some of you don't, I'll explain it in a nutshell. Social score is your score, it's just basically score for your behavior. Of course, that score is going to apply mainly to people living in the city. That's why another reason to leave the city. Because that score is everything is going to be monitored. Your behavior is going to be monitored by cameras. You cross the street where you're not supposed to. You cross the street, bam, your score drops. You raise some voice at somebody, your score drops. And when your score drops too low, like in China, you can't even have high-speed internet. You cannot buy airplane ticket. They restrict you. And same thing, in my opinion, your score drops too low, they can just lock your debit card, and all your money, you won't even be able to spend. Your money. Why do you think there is such a push for all these electric cars? Electric cars, if you like them, it's okay. I start to like some of them because some of them look cool. They're all very fast. I still like regular internal combustion engine. Just big old V8. Gas guzzler, yes it is, but I like it. But some electric cars are less obnoxious than others. Some of them I still wouldn't buy it. But some of them I can say, yeah, I kind of like it. But why do you think there is such a push for electric cars? The answer is simple: more control. Because that car, they can turn off your Tesla from their headquarters, and you won't be able to go anywhere until your score goes up, your social score, that is. By the way, I'm drinking water, just regular plain water. It's red because I add wild cherry juice to it. And my mom advised me to do it. Shout out to my mom. She told me to do it because wild cherry has positive effect on your joints. I'm 50 years old, and in general my health is okay, thank God. But sometimes I started to feel like pain in my joints. And I'll tell you the truth, I've been doing this for now several weeks. And all the natural things, it takes time to build up in your body. Suddenly I feel I have no pain. I used to have a little bit of pain in my joints, and I start to worry about it. So if you have arthritis or even just regular pain, add a little bit of juice, wild cherry juice. Buy organic one, don't buy the crap regular one. It's probably just water with some cherry flavor in it. Buy some good quality organic and add, like I add 1/4, 3/3 of water, 1/4 of the juice to the water, and I drink it like that all day long. and at least it worked for me. So keep it in mind. Natural medicine is the best medicine. Of course, it's best to prevent it. So even if you have no pain, do it. It's preventative maintenance. It's like changing oil on your car sooner than they recommend. Because they recommend many things, you can't always listen to their recommendations. You know, sometimes they recommend something too often just because they want to make money. Sometimes they recommend something not as often. That's because they want to make it sound attractive. Oh, this car doesn't need too much maintenance. But indeed, it still needs that oil change every now and then. So that's why you gotta use your head, obviously. Whatever you do with whatever it is, you gotta still double check their recommendations, because not always their recommendations are for your advantage, to your advantage. So anyway, take care of your health, because health is what we're gonna need. Like I said earlier, my arm was hurting me so bad, and I thought for a minute, if I was in a survival situation, if I am hiking somewhere with a survival bag, bug out bag, and suddenly I have this pain, or what if you twist your ankle, your leg, you can't even walk? Yes, cowboys, yes, moms are great. They are the best indeed. There are a few crazy moms in this world who literally throw their children away in the dumpsters, but those are few and far in between. Most of moms are just amazing. So anyway, you gotta take care of your health, because going back to this accident, by the way, speaking of this derailing, there was another derail in Michigan. There was a couple more that I heard. I forgot. I heard like 4 or 5 derailing in just past week. I don't know if it's just world is coming to an end. Why so many accidents? Um, or maybe some of it is done on purpose. I'm not sure. Don't want to say about these accidents that they might be done on purpose, but could be. Anything is possible. However, if you're thinking one day you will bug out, I always thought, before this accident in Ohio, I always thought bugging out, for me, I'll bug out only in 2 scenarios. If it's nuclear war and a bomb explodes. Even let's say I live near Portland. I live across the river in Vancouver. It's basically Portland area. If and when nuclear war starts and they will drop a bomb on Seattle, Washington, that's only about 170 miles away, straight line from Seattle down south to Portland. Not too far. I mean, far enough you're not gonna die from the blast. You're not gonna be evaporated. However, that radiation, depending on the wind patterns, but eventually it's going to make to Portland. Of course, by the time it gets there, it's going to be significantly thinned out, not as powerful, and so on and so forth. However, in my opinion, I'm in Portland area. If there is a bomb in Seattle, I would have to bug out somewhere, get further away from there. But and I thought 2 scenarios: nuclear war or massive earthquake that they've been talking about. Ever since I moved to Portland, I used to live in New York State, upstate New York, by the way. I used to live not far away where NY Prepper used to live. Shout out to NY Prepper. And yeah, we live pretty much in the same general area where I used to live and where he used to live. So that's another thing that we have in common. And so when I moved to Oregon, I started to hear all these conversations about this massive earthquake, that, this earthquake, even when it happens in Northwest, it's gonna be like 9 points. look at the earthquake in Turkey. I think it was either 7.4 or 7.6 points on the scale. I'm not sure, 7.4 or 7.6, whatever it is, 7. And look at the destruction. Of course, those buildings, many of them were old, not built for the earthquake. Of course, right now, many buildings, I built few houses in my life, and even residential houses, they are built with earthquake in mind. The way all the main structure is held together with metal straps, holding beams together, I think they would survive small earthquake. However, if you're gonna get earthquake that's 9 points, I don't think anything is gonna stand up. Nothing. Your motorhome probably will survive. It'll just shake, and that's gonna be your place to live if you have some kind of RV. So I was thinking two scenarios: earthquake or nuclear bomb. I would have to bug out. Now, to that scenario, I add some kind of chemical accident, chemical spill, because it could be just as deadly as nuclear bomb. It's not gonna blow you, out of this world with when it's burning. However, it will have big long-term effect. And that long-term effect can start really soon. I hope those people in Ohio, I hope they're not going to get cancers. If they do, I'm sure the government is also going to try to keep it hush hush and try to sweep it under the rug, as they always do. They obviously, the main media did not cover this accident. As far as I know, they didn't. Let me know if they did. It's all being covered just by YouTube channels, pretty much, because the government doesn't want panic. And so here's another reason: nuclear war, an earthquake, or chemical spill. And to be ready to bug out, yeah, in the perfect scenario, you could drive. You could drive wherever you want to go. However, you used to live modern trucking, Andre. You used to live in Buffalo, New York. Yeah, I lived south. I lived a couple hours north of New York City. So not quite Buffalo, not quite New York. Somewhere sort of upstate New York. Yeah, shout out to Modern Trucking. Good friend of mine, Andre. Most of my viewers are English speakers. His channel is in Russian. It's a trucking channel, very interesting channel. If you speak Russian or if you just like trucks, check out his channel. Anyway, so I pray also that I truly do almost on a daily basis. Oh, Aaron Morris in Richfield, Washington. Wow, you are really close to me. Yeah, I'm in Vancouver, Washington. You probably know where Vancouver Mall is. Exit 30, right off SR 500. I live not too far away from there. American Preparedness, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, you've been to New York only once. Well, New York State is pretty area, but New York City, you're not really missing anything, in my opinion. I don't like big cities, not just because I'm truck driver now. I just don't like them. What is there to see? Just pure craziness. Every big city, all you hear and see is sirens and filth and just too many people. But if you like big city, more power to you. It's just my opinion. Anyway, so back to bugging out. You need to be in physical shape, because let's say you drive. You got your supplies in your car and you're driving away from whatever disaster that happened in your area. What if there is bridge that's out? Where are you gonna go? You can't continue. And one of the things you should have in your bugging out scenario is inflatable small boat, maybe two-person boat that you could inflate with a small pump. So you could cross the river, and if you have few people in your area, in your group, you know, you could one by one cross them across the river. It'll be dangerous depending on the size of the river. It'll be time consuming, but it can be done. And then after that, your car is going to be left behind. You're going to continue on your foot. So health is critical in just everyday life. You know, you want to be healthy and strong. You don't want to go to doctors. You know, which place you'd rather visit, gym or a doctor's office? Both are time consuming. One gives you health, one just tries to keep you alive. Some of them are actually try to make you worse, because don't forget, some doctors are evil. Not all of them, some are good. Yeah, thank you, Andre, Modern Truck, and thanks for joining. And some of them will actually make your health worse on purpose, just to have you keep coming back. So, but anyway, so even in daily life, you're better off spending, you know, $50 for gym membership and 3-4 times a week, an hour at the gym. Much more fun and much more healthy than going to doctor's office. Second, if and when there is a situation for bugging out, chances are you're not going to be able to bug out where you want to go in your car. It's going to be on your foot. So you need to be strong enough to carry yourself and your gear. So anyway, yes, Andre, me too. When things go south, I hope I'm home with my family. That's what I just said 5 minutes ago. I hope and pray that I'm home when disaster strikes. Because obviously right now I'm in Missouri heading to Alabama. That's 2,000 plus miles away from my home. If nuclear war would strike right now, how long would it take for me to get home? What will happen to my family? You know, I'm sure it's every rational truck driver thinking, and I'm sure every truck driver thinks and hopes that he will be home when that danger and that disaster strikes. So that's what I'm hoping for. And but we don't know when it's going to strike. Day, night, maybe it'll strike when you're on vacation. That's why even when you're going on vacation, it might sound ridiculous, but you know, after all these world events, nothing is ridiculous to me. That accident, that spill in Ohio, or crazy flooding in New Zealand, or well, the war kind of, you kind of know about it. You know, it's either going or you know when you almost know when it's going to happen. Like war in Ukraine. You know, no one knew the day it's going to start, but everybody kind of knew it's going to start anytime. I personally thought it would start even sooner than that. I thought it would start the way, you know, Russian forces were gathering on the border. I thought it would start before New Year. It started at the end of February. So, but still, war is, you can almost predict it, you know. And if it's already going, you know about it. However, the earthquake, people were going about their business, going to work, going to visit somebody, going to gym, going to hospital, doctor, whatever. Suddenly, lots of people were gone. Yeah, I agree. American Preparedness, Bo, good to see you. And thanks for your comment. Nothing is really ridiculous anymore. I used to think, of many events, possible events that would be ridiculous. They're not ridiculous anymore, you know, all these crazy events. and it can happen anytime, anywhere. So when you're going on vacation, put your bug out bag in your car. You know, if you're traveling by airplane, that's harder. You can only take so much with you. Yeah, thanks, Biran. Thank you very much. So, you have some kind of plan when you're going on vacation. Have you're going to your vacation in an airplane? Still have some kind of minimal extra supply, surviving supply. You know, have few band-aids, few medicines that you usually don't take with you. Have source of light. You know, yeah, I know. I guess you cannot take lighters to your airplane. Maybe on a carry-on you can't, but if you put it in the luggage, maybe you can. I'm not sure. I haven't flown in a long time. It's been about 3 or 4 years since I flew in an airplane. I prefer to get to places by my car, even though it's much longer. It takes forever compared to an airplane. I don't like to. I like to fly. It's fun. It's actually fun for me. I don't like to go through all that security, waiting, changing planes, and so far and so forth. If I would go to Florida from Oregon, I would fly because most likely because driving takes too long. Unless if I had 3 weeks or 4 weeks of vacation, great. Um, yeah, Anne Marie, I saw that video as well. Yeah. Oh, you can have lighters. Oh, that's good to know. Um, yeah, I saw that video of dog howling as well. Yeah, animals. Too bad we don't know what animals are trying to say. We know afterwards that dog howled. Somebody filmed it, and now we know why he was howling. While he was howling, I'm sure most people would say, "Man, that annoying dog." You know what I mean? So yeah, I wish we could somehow know what animals mean when they howl or bark. They predict. They know danger is coming. So you gotta have you gotta be prepared for disaster when you're on vacation. I I'm prepared in my truck pretty good for disaster in case it strikes. I have food in here probably. If I don't buy, I still buy food outside just because sometimes I feel like eating some pizza or a burger. However, on the food that I have here in my truck, I can easily survive 1 month completely. I don't have water for 1 month. I because it takes a lot of space. I usually have about 5 or 6 gallons right now with me, but and I always replenish more and more. However, even 5 or 6 gallons of water that would last me probably for, if I'm not drinking too much, just minimum. I could probably stretch it for probably for a week and a half or 2 weeks, drinking minimum. Right now, I'm trying to drink half a gallon a day, but if crap would hit the fan, um, yeah, Bucky's. I never been to Bucky's, Carrie. It seems like a great place. It's huge. It's enormous. Never been to Bucky's. Drove by many times, but never stopped there. I don't know if you could stop there at Bucky's with a semi. Henry Oleg, are you still truck stop prepping? What do you mean, and truck stop prepping? Um, oh yeah, if I see something interesting on the truck stop, I'll buy it. I try not to buy anything at the truck stop for one reason: it's way more expensive. But however, if there is something interesting or unusual, something that I can't find easily in Walmart, I'll buy it. But yeah, so wherever you are, if you drive to work 5 miles, perhaps you can do without. Yeah, 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 Anne Marie, yeah. Yeah, I do occasionally buy something interesting and or unusual at the truck stop, but I try not to, simply for that reason that I mentioned. And so, if you're working from home, that's ideal. If you drive to work, 2, 3, 5 miles, yeah, you probably don't need bug out bag. You can come back home uh, shortly. Even 5 miles, you can walk that in 1.5, 2 hours. You know, but uh, otherwise, if you drive longer distance, you gotta have your bug out bag with you, in my opinion, and a hiking boots. You know, because you're not gonna get far in the flip flops if it's summertime, or even regular shoes. You gotta have hiking boots, because you never know how long you'll be hiking. Your feet are gonna carry you. It needs to be comfortable. So, anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna wind down the stream. Thanks everybody for joining. Love you all. Appreciate you all. I truly do. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks for coming to live stream. Next time I'm gonna try to give you more notice in advance. Take care, Amy. Cowboys, take care. And yeah, look at these world events. And I think, Jesus said, I'm coming back soon. He said that 2,000 years ago. However, right now, we're living in a time. Be Ryan, God bless you, my friend. Thank you so much. Thanks, Anne Marie. You too. He said that when you see these events, know that it's near. And so I think, number one, Jesus' return is near. And before that happens, I believe things will get worse, unfortunately. So we need to try to be the best, as best as possible, be ready for it. So get ready for the worst. Hope for the best, get ready for the worst. Okay, thanks everybody once again. We'll see you in the next live stream. We'll see you in the next uploads. Take care and God bless.